2 days ago, Wednesday, we were talking. I was doing a quick recap. In fact, I witnessed it right in front of you guys. No showsmanship going on. I had not seen the Artem Lobev, Paulie Malignaggi press conference, face-off, slap, interaction. Hadn't seen any of it. Watched it live with you guys, listened to it with you guys, reacted to it live with you guys. Okay, I went back. And I have to give some credit to Errol Hawani on this. He's the one that pointed this out on Errol and the Bad Guy. He said, hey, by the way, go look at that shot again. There's a great big guy holding Paulie back with one arm and videoing the melee on his cell phone with the other arm. That guy is Rumble Johnson. I go, no, come on. I watched that thing. I didn't pick up. I go back and watch. It's Rumble. It's Rumble Johnson. Maybe the one reason that these two didn't get to one another is because 300-pound Rumble Johnson was there. But it was a piece of theatrical beauty. And if you guys missed it, I don't want you to miss it. I want you to go back and watch it. It's worth seeing. You can even see it now. Just go to ESPN Plus, Errol and the Bad Guy, round 3. Rumble Johnson holds Paulie back with one hand while continuing to video. Continuing to video the melee with his cell phone with his free hand. A little bit interesting. I'm jumping around a little bit, but I got a lot of thoughts. Okay, so where does that go? And it's very hard to talk about Paulie and Artem with not bringing Conor into it. And matter of fact, there's no story without bringing Conor into it. Conor's the entire thing. Why? Because Khabib put hands on Conor, and Conor committed 3 different crimes because it made him so angry. All premeditated crimes because it made him so angry. Paulie just did the same thing to the same guy, and Paulie and Conor have their history. They got their beef, which I really wish didn't happen. I really wish it hadn't happened because Paulie came in as a training partner. What happens in the gym is supposed to stay in the gym, and your teammates, even if you're only teammates for that one day, you're still teammates. But there was something very real about it, and it wasn't Paulie in Paulie's defense. It wasn't Paulie that went out and started talking about what happened. It also wasn't Conor. In both of their defense, they really did uphold the code that what happens in the gym stays in the gym. What happened is media was present. Dana and Lorenzo, not for nothing. You want to name names. And they put it out as a way of hyping Conor McGregor and his skills against a former world champion as he's getting ready to fight Floyd, a former world champion. It made sense. At the same time, Paulie's got an ego. And for Paulie to respond and say, hey, that footage was edited, that's not what happened. I was in there with 10 rounds for that guy. That is not what happened. As a matter of fact, aside from me getting a little fatigued, I didn't have that much trouble with Conor. Conor to respond and say, well, that's not really the way I remember it. Right? I mean, once it's out, once one guy speaks, the other guy gets to respond too. Generally, it just never, ever, ever gets out. I train at a small gym here in Portland, just to personalize this. There are no cameras allowed. As a matter of fact, there is no outsiders of the gym allowed. You must either be a member of the gym to even get in the door on sparring day, or you must be related to a member at the gym who's actively participating in the sparring session. You're showing up there to support him. That's it. I mean, it's closed door, but for this very reason. Footage cannot get out. Game plans cannot get out. I'm a little looser on this than some people. I don't overly care. I fought 49 guys. All those videos are out there. I don't have any secrets. So I'm a little bit looser, but that doesn't mean that I don't understand the concept. Conceptually speaking, objectively speaking, I get it. And some guys, man, they're really close to it. I can remember a fight Rampage was having. Rampage Jackson was going to fight John Jones. And John Jones, so Rampage goes into practice that day and they work on elbows. Elbow strikes specifically, okay? John Jones that exact same day and within like a 2-hour period tweets out on social media that he's working on elbow defense today. So Rampage loses his mind. Rampage thinks there's a mole in the camp that's revealing and releasing to John Jones's camp what Page is working on. This was the evidence he had, and he was all upset, and it became a tremendous storyline. I don't actually know the answer to that. It never got out, but I know that John Jones enjoyed the fact that he got his goat either way and stayed with it. yeah, I got a mole in your camp. And he's not the first guy to do that. BJ Penn had done something similar with George St. Pierre and claimed that he had somebody in the camp. That one I did get to the bottom of. BJ made the whole thing up, but it was tremendously fun. And it's a very real thing, right? I mean, it's like Marty from Nebraska. It wasn't meant to be funny, but once Ben Askren realized it worked, he can't back off of it. He's got to keep calling him Marty from Nebraska. It's just one of those things. That's just the way it goes. It's lighthearted prodding and teasing, but it gets a very real reaction and a very real effect. So these things, I'm just giving you guys the backstory in case you've been under a rock. So Paulie then, of course, wants to hitch himself to the Conor train. I'm on board with that. I don't have a problem with it. It was a very obvious cash grab. That was not a fight or even a sport that you wanted to see Conor fight it. It was a very tough sell, but I got what Paulie was doing, and frankly, he won me over. I was on board. Hey, Conor, if you want to go box and this is what you're going to do, and Dana's talking about getting this boxing thing going and you're under contract, let's just get these guys together and figure this thing out once and for all. And as long as nobody starts talking stupid about a $100 million payday, if these guys have a beef and they want to settle it, and we can do it in unarmed combat with a license and a referee and a commission and judges and just do this whole thing properly, I'm in. I know I'm in just by how much time I spent watching this training footage at a couple of different angles that Paulie highly disputes and is arguing was edited to Conor's favor. If I'm watching that over and over, yeah, I'm going to watch those guys walk out there in robes, take them off with the 16-ounce gloves, and get this thing on in front of the world. You bet I am. So Paulie and Artem. Artem, somewhere along the way, gets released from the UFC, apparently signs with this bare-knuckle deal going on. Paulie apparently signed with this bare-knuckle deal. Okay, these guys have the face-off, but it all ties back to Conor. The whole thing is done because of the implication of Conor. That's why that works. Paulie and Artem don't have any heat. It all ties back to Conor. Okay, great. Well, Conor took the bait. This time he did not grab a dolly. He didn't break any laws, but he quickly went to social media and started releasing more photographs of the sparring session with Paulie, which of course worked Paulie up. And of course I find it be a whole lot of fun. But Conor didn't stop there. Somewhere along the way, he decides to send out a picture of a woman who he identifies. I don't know that he was accurate. That he identifies as Khabib Nurmagomedov, as Khabib's wife. And his wife's face is wrapped. She's Muslim. Her face is wrapped. And Conor says something along the lines. Now, it's since been deleted. I have to say that, or I would give you absolute verbatim, but I am at least getting you guys 98% there just based on memory. Congratulations, you married a towel. Now, that's dirty. That's dirty at the highest of levels, and I must say, cooler heads prevailed because it was deleted. And by the way, a little bit of a sensitive topic. Don't come back on me. I'm telling you a story the way that the story happened. Just by the way. So Khabib, oh boy. Khabib lights up. And Khabib, man, this guy's a personal guy. As much as you guys all want to say, oh, Khabib's a big star, Khabib doesn't go live the life of a big star. Khabib does everything the same that he's always done. Oh, Khabib's made a bunch of money. Khabib hasn't spent a damn cent of that money. There's a totally different animal, which is one of the roots to his success, by the way, and it's also going to be one of the roots and causes to his longevity of that success. But Khabib is as advertised. And this was a line that was crossed to the highest of levels. And I can't fully state that for you. I can't fully state that for you if that's from a religious standpoint or if that's from a cultural standpoint. And either way, I've never been to Dagestan. I don't actually know. But family to the highest extent is off limits. And the only member of Khabib's family who has ever been seen in public, spoken in anything, is his father. And that's because his father is in his corner. His father is his corner man. If it wasn't for that, you guys never would have seen what his father even looks like. That private. So now imagine his wife. I don't believe it even comes to his fights. I mean, this is a very private thing. Relevant to the story. Very relevant to the story. Sensitive as that could sound, it's relevant to the story. So now, Khabib comes back, and Khabib came back dirty. And he calls Conor. He did not delete this. This is still up there. He calls Conor a rapist. And then he starts posting photographs of Conor with other women. And this a boiling point. As a matter of fact, the headline that I read, where all of this was in cap, I didn't go to one's Twitter and then the other one's Twitter. get all into the drama. I just read a headline. It was on bloodyelbow.com. Boom. Actually, a great headline. I should give a shout out to whoever posted this. The headline was, and it had to do with Artem in Poly, and it said, "Get your dollies ready," right? But the dolly from the bus situation. Great headline. I really should find out who it was that said that because he deserves a shout out. Great. One of the better headlines that I've read in a meaningful period of time of MMA. Got me to click. But within the body of this story, it then parlays over to these two knuckle, Conor and Khabib. I'm reading this. Oh, this is bad. This is bad. And I'm the guy that started this whole thing in terms of what you can bring in, what's in limits and what's off limits. Started that whole thing, pushed those lines. But boy, even I had to sit back and go, this is bad. This is very bad. And this isn't even something, okay, that we're looking to monetize. This isn't promotion where you can kind of go, well, in promotion, they sure are pushing the limits there, but that damn fight game, it's all about getting attention. These guys aren't fighting one another. These guys are not fighting these guys aren't fighting anybody for that matter. They're both in the principal's office. Get your calendars out. They're still in timeout. They don't have licenses. These guys aren't going to be doing joint media appearances. They're not going to be doing anything together, including fighting, including signing contracts to fight. Conor is apparently, aside from the license status, not good to book him right now. Told the world he's retired. Right, there's some weird stuff going on right now. We know enough to know he is not retired. We also know enough to know it's not a good time to book him. Khabib can't be booked. He's in the same boat. He's got no opponent. He's got a date. He's got a date that he can come. I can't ever remember on the Khabib thing. Did he get 12 months or did he get 6 and then say, I'm going to sit 12? I'm close on that, though, right? Or he got 12 and said, I'm going to sit 14. Remember when he extended it? Khabib just steered into this whole thing. I do not care what you do with me. And meant it. Whatever you want to give me, I'll give myself more. No, you want to take this much money? Why don't you just keep the whole thing? Forget it. Don't call me. Don't contact me. Don't mail me anything, but keep it all. I mean, that was Khabib's stance. It was actually a very interesting stance, but that was Khabib's stance. My point, even though I can't off the top of my head recall exactly what the sanctions were for both guys, but the point is the same. These guys are still in timeout. They're still sitting in the corner with a dunce hat on. So now they've gone at each other, one bringing in the other guy's wife, called her a towel. I mean, that's got all sorts of implications that are, oh. As the guy that redefined where the line is, I'm sitting at it and go, whoa. Conor, who came in and redefined. He came in and moved the line from where I put the line. He came in and moved the line 10 yards or more. Even he looked at it and deleted it. Okay? And then Khabib came back. I mean, that's an interesting one. Khabib is going to stand his ground from a prideful standpoint, but that's it. He is not going to market, and he is not going to promote, and he is not going to monetize. Khabib, in many regards, is like Ben Askren. Whether you want to set this thing up in the streets of New York City or you want to sell it in an arena somewhere, just tell me when, and just tell me where. And when he says that, even though that sounds like tough guy talk and bravado, and that'll put chills up your spine, it's real. It's very real when he says it. Conor, on the other hand, he's looking at business first. Conor's always looking at business first. Neither one of these guys' approaches are wrong. They're just different approaches. So when Conor starts going to this point with Khabib, I have to sit back and try to figure out why. I have to. I would be missing something. I'd be given an opportunity to learn something. But I have to know why. And I'm having a hard time finding that. I'm having a hard time finding what the payoff in the end game is. Here's the pieces that we have, that we've been told. Should they hold up? And I'm well aware in the world of promotion, specifically as it comes to matchmaking, we are going to fiercely adhere to the rules that we make up on the spot. I'm well aware of that, but here's what we know. Those guys are on timeout. That's true. Khabib and Conor can't go fight right now. Max and Poirier are going to go fight for the interim championship. And we have been told as the viewing audience, the winner will be the number one contender and the winner will be fighting Khabib as soon as Khabib returns. Whoever that is, because they have been told that, has the right to cling to that argument. Tony Ferguson has the right to push back against that argument. And if Conor McGregor comes back and Khabib's got the belt and these guys want to do it one more time, they have the right to push back against those other previously made statements, of which are all mutually exclusive and cannot all exist at the same time. They just can't. We as the viewers, I don't know that we have a horse in this race. We've been given 3 promises and they're all really wonderful things. I think we have to just sit back. I think we owe that to everybody. I don't think we get to have stand in this matter. But those 3 guys, whoever wins between Poirier and Max, Tony Ferguson himself, and of course Conor should he return, in conjunction with Khabib, who appears to be more than a willing party, have some level of business that they're going to need to work out through politics and bureaucracy and the mandate of the masses and the power of the media, but they're going to need to work it out. And as dirty and nasty as this is, I would think that the play for whatever it is Conor's dealing with right now, whatever these reports, and some of which are rumors, some of which are speculation, but all the same, none of which are confirmed, it would appear that he is making a chess player's move of making sure that he has something to offer somebody powerful that they want. And that's very wise. And I've talked to you guys about this many times, but everybody that's good in this industry, I'm not talking about in the sport who's good with the punches and the kicks and the grab. Man, they all are. Any given night, they all are. Guys that are good in this industry all sell something. And the guys that effectively sell it to you never let you know what that something is. It's always the magician's left hand. With the guys that are good, they will never turn on the industry. They will never reveal the business. And at times when they must turn on the industry and reveal the business, they're still giving you a swerve because they still know something that you don't. And whenever the magician's left hand is moving, you know there's always something hidden in the right. Something is at play there. And the thing that Conor McGregor has sold, many people believe, is skills. He has great skills. He has not sold those. Many people believe it is confidence. He has tremendous confidence. He has never made $1 because of it. The thing that Conor has sold, the thing that's in the magician's right hand while he's getting you to look at his left hand, is power. Conor McGregor has no power in this industry. He has never got anybody a contract with any meaningful organization. He's never gotten anybody released from a contract. He has never called in a favor for anybody other than himself. He does not have power within this industry. But you think he does. He has sold that. He has sold power. He has sold, I decide who I fight. I decide when I fight. I will be getting shares. I am a decision maker. It's an angle, it's a work, and it's a gimmick. But it's one that he got over with. And it's one that I see the fellow fighters standing down. Oh, this is what Conor wants. That's the way it's going to be. I've heard members of the media who have thrived and strived and been in the industry and kept their lights on at home and food on their table for being in this business so long come out and say the same. Well, Conor's holding all the chips. None of this is a knock on Conor. It's just the opposite. Conor's watching this right now. Conor knows from one worker to another that I'm right. And the one thing that he sold, and the magician's great trick under that sleeve in the right hand while everybody else was looking at the left, was the insinuation of power that never existed.